This news update is brought to you by
You got an upgrade for Christmas.
If you're feeling lucky, you could win some money.
Upgrade for Christmas.
$200,000 in cash and prizes. With Lime, you could win some money. It's Lime's Christmas Lottery. 250 winners this Christmas, oh yeah.
Sign up for upgrades to super fast broadband, Lime TV, e-billing, a data plan. Top up $15. Purchase a handset or text 4263 to enter.
Upgrade for Christmas.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update. It's Monday, December the 15th, 2014. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. The head of the Barbados Agricultural Society has poured cold water on suggestions that tax-free concessions for hoteliers will fully be in place by January the 2nd. Chief Executive Officer James Paul tells Barbados Today that several systems are yet to be put in place, including a committee to oversee the process. The target date was given last week by President of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Sunil Chitrani, at the BHTA's fourth quarterly meeting. But Paul says he won't stand by and allow farmers to be shortchanged.
I don't think they should fool themselves or the public either, because there's still a lot of things to be put into place before those concessions can be granted. I've told the farmers, I've told them, I intend to see that those things be done. Because in no way do I intend to be part of anything that shortchanges our local farming community at all. You know, so we have to do due diligence, okay, to ensure that what should be done by those hoteliers. In other words, whatever they're supposed to do, that they do. And I am not going to sit down and allow any shortcuts towards implementing those concessions. And I just want to make that very clear.
Barbados has received the thumbs up from a global financial expert for its long-term economic policies. While admitting he has not studied its short-term trends, Associate Professor of Economics at New College at Florida, Taran Kemraj, says the country's long-term trends are heading in the right direction. Speaking on the sidelines of a three-day seminar on monetary policy in small, very open economies at the Grand Salle of the Central Bank this morning, Professor Kemraj said he's optimistic about the island's future.
I think the trends are solid. I'm optimistic, and by trends, you know, Barbados has a lot going for it. It has, let me list them. You know, it has great climate, right? It has property rights. You know, you have a court system that, if you have grievances, you go to the courts, right? And it's going to be settled, and the government is not going to nationalize your asset. Okay. If you're a business person in Russia or Venezuela or China, I think you're always existed with that fear, would my enterprise one day be taken away by the government? And I don't think you have that trouble here. So there is a lot from the institutional side that must be celebrated.
And police have identified the elderly man who collapsed and died near Grazettes Main Road yesterday afternoon. He's 68-year-old Samuel Paris of Park Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael. Paris was walking in the area coming from the Tudor Bridge and going towards the Grazettes community when he collapsed. Meantime, police spokesman David Welch says investigations continue into a number of recent shootings. He says one of the three men who got shot last week in Smith Road, Sergeants Village, Christchurch, has been released from hospital. In news from the law courts now, two men, including a Guyanese national, have been remanded to prison on several drug charges. 31-year-old Gregory Manson Hing, who lives in Craig Road, St. Lawrence, Christchurch, as well as 54-year-old Adrian O'Brien Hines of Durance, Christchurch, are jointly charged with 8 offences in connection with a drug find at Skeets Bay, St. Philip on December the 8th. They will return to court on January 12th next year after pleading not guilty to the charges in court today. Manson Hing, who faces additional 5 charges, will also reappear in the District A Magistrates Court on Wednesday. The Salvation Army is expecting thousands of people to descend on its city headquarters this Wednesday for its hamper giveaway. The charity is busily preparing for its annual Christmas event, even in the face of low public response to its kettle drive. But the Army's Public Relations Officer, Major Denzel Walker, tells Barbados Today he's hoping that things will pick up in the coming days.
It's slow, but people are giving more than last year, and I expect that between now and this week, the ending of this week, we can tell you more about how far we have reached. I want to appeal to Barbadians to keep giving. This whole effort of helping our people is not only at Christmas time. The Salvation Army does this throughout the year. We'll be giving out food hampers once per month as we have done before, and we'll need your support to continue our program. A lot of people are hurting.
In sports now, the task force report on the controversial West Indies tour of India is out, and it's placing the blame at the feet of all the parties involved. The report, which was submitted to the WICB on the weekend, said that while the board and the West Indies Players Association erred significantly in the administration of the new Memorandum of Understanding, the players must also shoulder a significant proportion of the blame for walking out on the tour. As a result, the three-man task force headed by Michael Gordon has put forward 8 recommendations. One suggests that players' contracts must be given to them at least 3 weeks before a tour.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Sun power.
To the region now, Antigua and Barbados Prime Minister Gaston Brown calls on LIAT's management and the pilots union not to jeopardize travel this holiday season. The two sides have been at loggerheads over a number of issues in recent times, which have led to travel disruptions across the region. Now, both parties promised that travel will remain as is for the season and pledged to work out the present industrial relations problems. Prime Minister Brown has also promised to hold talks with other shareholder governments early next year to discuss the issues facing the cash-strapped airline. And finally, on the international scene, today's hostage situation in Australia comes to a deadly end. 2 hostages lost their lives while the gunman, Man Haran Monis, who carried out the siege, was also killed when Australian Special Forces and police stormed the Sydney cafe during the more than 16-hour standoff.
Out of the blue, out of nowhere, it was just gunshots, loud gunshots, bangs from some sort of explosions, flashbangs from the police, and now this. It's certainly quite stunning after so many hours of relatively peaceful, what we were told, negotiations with police. Police say that they'd been on the phone throughout the day with this man, Haran Monis, and that they were hoping that they could peacefully negotiate an end to this, but something triggered this. There were hostages running, and then the gunshots and explosions, and a number of people have been hit. I'm told 3 or 4, and this is all very fluid at the moment. Earlier reports were an officer had been injured somehow. Look, we're waiting to firm that up as well, but certainly there are people injured here, and it hasn't been a peaceful end to this operation.
That CNN report brings us to the end of our Barbados Today evening update. We will be back again tomorrow morning. But until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screen plates, supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Lime TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.
This news update is brought to you by
I run from me to me.
For me?
You don't need speakers, right?
Upgrade to win every week with Lime. Sign up for Lime TV or broadband or purchase an iPhone 6 or Samsung Note 4. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.